Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. For those of you that have been watching, that was watching the Sugar Bowl, the final quarterfinal playoff game of the week, you saw what happened down in New Orleans in the Sugar Bowl. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish defeated our Georgia Bulldogs. They defeated our Georgia Bulldogs by a score of 23-10. First things first, I want to congratulate the Notre Dame Fighting Irish on a great performance today. It was a great game. Congratulations to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Let me go ahead and give you your salute. Let me go ahead and give you your salute here real quick. Congratulations to Notre Dame. Great game. Great game, hard fought game. They wanted it more. They earned it more. They outplayed us. They outcoached us, and they definitely deserve to win the game. I also would like to say to my team, I am very, very proud of my Georgia Bulldogs. Salute to you, 225 girl, and any UGA fan that's in here. Salute to you, Slam Newton. Salute to you, Alpha. Salute to you. Salute to you. We're going to get into all of that. The SEC is definitely not what it is. And I am going to give a brief intervention tonight on why the SEC is not where it is and why the SEC as a conference is on a down spiral right now. And it actually started last year, and it's going to continue here in the next couple of years, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. But first things first, salute to our Georgia Bulldogs on a season, hard fought, well played season. I'm not going to get up here like other content creators and doom and gloom and put down the team and pour dirt all over the team and piss all over the team. The team fought hard. They did great. Gunnar Stockton, I'm not going to blame anything on Gunnar Stockton. Gunnar Stockton did what he could do. Gunnar Stockton did not allow a 98-yard kickoff return. Gunnar Stockton couldn't throw the ball, play quarterback, and block for himself. Gunnar Stockton could not play running back. Gunnar Stockton couldn't play defense and tackle the dang freaking quarterback and the freaking running back when you know there's a running play coming your way. All right, Gunnar Stockton is only one man. He can't play all 11 positions. So if anyone that sits here and blames this game on Gunnar Stockton is just egregious and, in my opinion, a fair weather fan. All right, so like I said, I'm not gonna get up here and pour dirt on my team. I knew, and I said it before the game. This is the worst team that Kirby has had. This is the worst team under Kirby. We spoke about it last night on the Road to Atlanta post game show. Me here, my guest host for the second time on the dog call. Sniper, salute to you. We spoke about it, and salute to you, G Bama boy. Thank you, brother. I feel the same way. I mean, we were watching the same game. Gunner stopped and played his ass off. He did what he could do. He did what he could do. The old line just had a bad night. The old line had a bad night. The old line got outplayed by Notre Dame's undersized defensive line. And let me just say something. When it comes to the trenches, uh size don't damn matter. It's skills. It takes skills. Size plays a part, don't get me wrong, but skills plays a major part in it. You can be big, but if you're big and slow and you're getting beat off the ball, you're not going to dominate in the trenches. And yes, Notre Dame is small, but they are fast, they are tough, and they get to the ball. But this is Kirby's worst team. The receiver core was the worst. In my opinion, this was the worst running back room under Kirby, hands down, the worst. And no one can dispute me on it. I'm including the 2016 team. We had Nick Chubb, Sony Michelle. That 2016 had those two running backs. 17, Sony Michelle, Nick Chubb, and Swift. 2018, you had Swift, Holyfield. 20. This was the worst running back room. This was the worst running back room. The tight end room was mediocre. The linebacker room is mediocre. The D line is nothing like what it was in 2021. I've been saying this all season. That's hell. I said it before the season started. But with all that being said, after losing your starting quarterback, even at quarterback, Carson Beck, as good as he is, he's somewhere right around there with Jake Fromm. He's not Aaron Murray. He's not Matthew Stafford. He ain't even JT Daniels or Stetson Bennett. But Garner. I'm looking forward to him starting next year. He will start. I think the kid had damn near close to 300 yards. So if anybody pisses on Gunnar Stockton's performance tonight, they don't know a damn thing about football. They're just in their feelings. Okay, so I just wanted to say that. But I'm proud of this team for overcoming the injuries and the suspensions and other minor setbacks. I'm very, very proud of this team. Uh, very proud of this team. But I kind of knew I was never going to say it out loud. Not slam, I said under Kirby. Quincy Carter played with Kirby in the late 90s. But but this, like I said, and I said it earlier, is this is Kirby's worst team. This is his worst team. And I'm gonna basically explain to you why and what needs to be done in order for us to get back to the level of 2021. Things have changed since that class. Since we drafted that class with Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and N'Kobe Dean and Nolan Smith, the world of college football has changed. And you're not going to get those level of players unless you break bread. You got to break bread. You got to come with some money in today's college football world. And that is what's going on in the SEC. These SEC schools refuse to break bread, they refuse to pay. And the schools out west and the schools up in the Big Ten, they don't mind paying, including Notre Dame. Notre Dame is starting to come out the bag as well. So the only school in the SEC that gets it, in my opinion, is Texas. And that is why Texas right now is the last SEC team standing for now. And we're going to discuss that here later on. But just my brief promo, Sniper. You have to excuse me, man. Just, you know, a little in my feelings tonight. My Georgia Bulldogs took an L. Our Georgia Bulldogs took an L. But I'm not going to pour dirt on this team. I am so proud of this team. And I said it earlier, and I said it last night. Win or lose, I am proud of this team. We could have easily been 8-4, but we finished 11-3. We finished 11-3, won the SEC, made it to the playoffs. And anyone that's complaining about how the season ended or complaining about us losing the game, ask, would you like to trade places with an Ole Miss fan? Would you like to trade places with a South Carolina fan? Would you like to trade places with a Miami fan? Would you like to trade places with an Alabama fan? Because they would have given their right arm to trade places and to be where we were tonight. So my hats off to the team. You did what you could. You did what, but the team was not elite this year. That's just to sum it up. To sum up the 2024 Georgia Bulldogs football team, this team was not elite. Nowhere near on the level of the 2021, the 2022, or that 2023 team from last year. Good evening, Sniper. Welcome, welcome, brother. You got the
Man, I'm gonna disagree with you on a few things. First of all, congratulations to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They played hard. Um, they fought tooth and nail to get to where to win this game. I um I believe that Georgia, they fought hard all the way through the end. One thing I do disagree with you with what you said earlier was that this was the worst running back crew that we've had. I kind of don't believe
no, I
that.
said on the Kirby. I said on the Kirby.
Under Kirby.
Yes.
I kind of disagree with that because yeah, we didn't get 1,000 yard rusher, but why didn't we get 1,000 yard rusher? We didn't.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Wait.
Okay, okay,
Let me. I'm
okay,
gonna put the plane in five at that 5,000 feet. You can land it in a second.
okay. Go
Um,
ahead.
you didn't have that toughness at an offensive line like we've had in the past under Kirby. Um, we didn't. So those rusher ETN and Nate Frazier, which hey, listen, hey, I'm gonna tell you real quick off the thing is I'm pretty excited to see what Nate Frazier and Gunnar Stockton do in the backfield next year. I'm pretty excited to see what our new receiving core is going to do next year. I agree with you. We had the worst receiving core. If you can't pass the ball, which Carlson Beck did all he could. Yes, he had interceptions, but if you don't got players to, if a team knows you're going to drop the ball 36 times in a whole year, what are you going to do? Like, man, we ain't even worried about them catching the ball. Okay, we're not even worried about catching about the Georgia catching the ball. We just got to stop the run, which they did. I think that one thing that Kirby and if Bobo come back next year, what they need to do is they got to use their playmakers. Dylan Bell this year after the first couple of games, they should have figured out that Dylan Bell was not our playmaker this year. He's not our go-to guy as though he was last year, making spontaneous catches. Um, you have a receiver that would catch the ball and run away from folks, and that's Humphreys. You had Tuggle out there that's one of the fastest players on the Georgia offensive side, but didn't use him much because you wanted to use Dylan Bell, right? Dylan Bell had a ball that would at least got us close to the 10 5 yard line,
That would
and
have
it
been a
hit his face.
touchdown. Nobody was around him. That would have been a touchdown.
Nobody was around him.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was around him. But I was looking at the way his body was tortured. Then he probably would have failed after the catch. But if that was somebody, if somebody else was in that position, I think they would have caught the ball and ran. Dylan Bell had more drops than anybody else this year on the whole team. Aaron Smith, like you know, what I said earlier today. I want to see Aaron Smith catch a ball and run away from somebody, and you corrected me about that. Yeah, it was proven today. He could catch the ball. He has track speed. He don't have breakaway speed. But at the end of the day, hey, our team lost. Our team, they did fight hard. Gunnar Stockton did everything he could, but again, he can't block for himself. He can't separate from from DBs himself. But that boy got a cannon, and I thought Carson Beck threw hard. That boy throws lasers.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I can't wait to see what happened with them. Um, and the one thing that I agree but disagree with, and I hate the NIL deal. Now we got to go pay players to play, and I know that's where we're going at, and that just eats at my skin because yeah, all these teams go and find, and I drop 20 million, 10 million on players just to get them to play for their university. But I'm gonna tell you one thing that I know that our Georgia Bulldogs, they don't get them. They're gonna train them. They're gonna mold them to be what we will be. Really do think that I really do think that they are. We're on the come up. We're going to be on the come up. At the end of the day, we're going to show that we don't need to. We get it. We get our players out of the transfer portal. Just a few players out of that, but everything is train, and practice, and we'll get back to where we need to be. But some of the things that these other content players or content creators are saying is just horrible. So I saw something earlier that they wanted to fire Kirby off the rip.
Like I said, you got you got, look. One thing about me, look. I'm a sports guy. I played the game of football, and one thing about it, before the season started, I took a look at our roster. I did research, and I also, have boots on the ground during fall camp, and they were basically relaying information to me, and basically telling me what our strengths were and what our weaknesses were. And the one thing this person then told me was like, "Hey, man, this is this team could take 3 L's, three maybe 4 L's. Don't be surprised that this team doesn't get anywhere near the playoffs or the SEC championship game." And if you look at it, just take a look at Ohio State. Just take a look at Ohio State.
But
They're that level of play from that squad. That's what it takes to win a championship. Damn the seeding. Damn the seeding. Okay, because I'm gonna tell you something. Just like I said back in August, conference championships don't mean a damn thing no more. Every conference champion is eliminated right now. Not one conference champion made it to the semifinals. You have a 7 seed, 5 seed, 6 seed, and an eighth seed right now in the final four. Not one conference champion. That it doesn't mean anything anymore. And
nah.
they really need to think about. I hear what you're saying, brother. This ain't
No,
not,
no, don't even say it. We're gonna get in. Don't even say it. Don't even say
this
it.
hold on. Let me
Get
finish,
rid of
bro.
the championship
Let me
game for
land.
what?
Let me land the plane, bro. Because the receipts are there. The
The
receipts
receipts
are
are not
there.
there.
This is the first. Okay, this is the first year of the 12-team playoff. All five conference champions eliminated, did not make it anywhere near the semifinals. Now, what I would like to see them do is the quarterfinal round that needs to be played on campus. This round should have been played on campus. Playing these games in NFL stadiums, I think it does a disservice to the schools. I know they're making money, but there are other things that play a part in this other than just money. You get a chance to bring in recruits and have them visiting in a playoff game. I think the first 2 rounds need to be played on campus. I can see them adding maybe 14 or 16, and if they do 16, don't have any buys. Just do away with the buys and have everybody playing a first round game. But I may be wrong. Next year, you may have all four finalists. The semifinals may be full of conference champions, but this year, that conference championship didn't mean a damn thing. Didn't mean nothing. It really didn't. It helped.
So
It
so
helped
so
Georgia, huh?
so one bad playoff season, and now the conference champs don't mean nothing.
No, I'm saying
It,
this year
and that's why you should have leave it. That's why we should have left it at 4.
should have left it at 4.
Or yeah, or when it started, or did 8.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. You're right. You're right. That's if they would have expanded it to only 8, then hell yeah, the conference champions would mean something. Or left it at 4, definitely. It means the world. But when you expand it to 12, and then they're talking about expanding it to 14, the more teams, the more expansion they do, the conference champion ain't gonna mean a damn thing. You could have a conference, it's just like the NFC South champion, whoever wins it, the Tampa Bay or the Falcons. 9 times out of 10, they gonna get blowed out in the wild card by the loser of the Minnesota Detroit game. Whoever don't win the NFC North is gonna blow out the NFC South champion. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing. Same thing. But that's neither here or there. The SEC needs an intervention. These athletic directors, they in the SEC, they're gonna have to go to their boosters, and they're gonna have to have a talk with their boosters. They're gonna have to come up with some kind of creative way, because there's a serious arms race with the Big Ten right now, and the Big Ten is blowing the SEC out of the water. Ohio State, they spent 20 million, but they're going to get a return, a big return on their investment. And they may get two chips out of this, because some of those players are coming back. Jeremiah Smith is a true freshman. Tate is only a sophomore. There's no guarantee Abuka is going into the NFL. I mean, think about it. You can make money in college now. You can make money in college. So they're getting a big return on their investment, and I think that's what's going on. That's what's going on right now. The SEC schools, they refuse to pay. They're on that old time religion belief. Oh, we're gonna give you a scholarship. We're gonna give you a college education. We'll give you a couple of with the NIL. They're lowballing these kids. That is not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Continue to do that, and you're gonna have two, maybe three, possible three SEC teams getting in, and you're gonna have the Big Ten putting in maybe four, maybe five. Salute to you, oh so dope. Salute to you, bro. Putting in maybe 4 or 5 teams next year, because listen to me real good. Illinois is coming. Nebraska is coming. I don't think Penn State is taking a step back. Ohio State damn sure ain't taking a step back. Michigan is on the come up. They're breaking bread. They're spending money. So I'm going to make this prediction right now. The Big Ten going to put 5 teams in the college football playoffs next year. Well, this year. Mark my words. In 2025, they are going to put 5 teams in the playoffs. It's about money. It's an arms race. And there's only 2 schools in the SEC right now breaking bread. I mean, serious bread. That's Texas and Auburn. Bama ain't doing nothing. Georgia ain't doing nothing. Tennessee ain't doing nothing. And I'm surprised at that. Hell, they was with who was that? Who was that? I think it was Butch Jones. Butch Jones handing players money in McDonald's bags. So now it's legal. Now you can do it. They don't want to pay. I don't understand that, but the SEC schools, they got to get with the program, bro. This is just the beginning. An expanded, think about it now, Sniper. An expanded playoff. An expanded playoff to 12 teams. And we only put 3 in. 3. Came this close to only putting 2 in. If Georgia wouldn't have won in Atlanta. If Georgia would have lost that game in overtime, because we would have been sitting there with 3 losses, and then the thing would have been like, the saying would have been like, same thing they did to Florida State, they did to Georgia, where they lost their quarterback. We're gonna leave them out. No.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you're
I
right,
hear what you
Teron.
say.
Florida spending money, but not like Texas and Auburn. Not they are starting to spend a little money, but nothing like Texas and Auburn. Because see, the thing with Florida, they spread their money out. They're trying to win in everything: softball, baseball, uh, basketball, soccer, volleyball. They trying to win in every sport, in every major sport. So they spread their money out throughout all of their athletics. They're not just a football school. They compete in basketball, baseball, softball, and gymnastics and soccer. I'll tell you how much.
I just believe, and I guess I'm old school, like the SEC, where I just believe that if you have to pay to win, then you shouldn't that you shouldn't have to play. You shouldn't be able to play at all. If you got to pay players to come to your school, it, it's
That's the
it's
world we
it's
live
it's,
in,
it's
sniper. That's the
yeah.
world we live in now.
You know what, we're playing these college players, and these college players, like I told you, I don't believe in these kids sitting in college for 6, 7, 8 years just to get paid when they can go and it'll give that spot to somebody else and chance your luck in the NFL. That was the ultimate goal to begin with, is to make it to the NFL. Now it is, you know what? I'm gonna take and you're not really taking any classes for 9 years. I have not heard not one student that go to these universities.
Everybody
But
is you keep using that as an excuse, brother. It's only a handful of individuals that stayed in school that long. 9, 7. Most of these kids, the only reason why they getting extra years is because of the COVID. After this year, that's out the door. You won't see players staying no more than maybe 5 years. And they've been doing 5 years ever since I remember back in the days. I remember Chuck Long, he was the quarterback for Iowa. He played 5 years at Iowa. Salute the old school G. Is that
we
these
got the NCAA. I believe the NCAA need to get a hold of this NIL deal. Make it like make it. You're not giving these kids $1 million just to go to a university. Yeah, these schools make money. No doubt about it. These schools make money. Fans, concession, uh, apparel, all this stuff. They have to get a hold of this. And I'm not trying to take money out of nobody's pocket, but this is college football we're talking about here.
where
This
the
is college football.
where the thing about it is, brother, the NCAA. I don't know if you've been paying attention now. The NCAA ain't got no power anymore. They don't have any more power, bro. The major conferences, the four major conferences control everything. The NCAA has no power anymore. Not like it was 20 years ago, 20, 25 years ago, where they had the power to come in and enforce things. They don't have that anymore. And the ain't no going back. Supreme Court already ruled on it. Yes.
You're right. You're right.
Uh
You're right. You're right.
it's no going back. And see, and with that being said, all right, when things change, you gotta adapt. You gotta adapt. You gotta adapt to the way the game is being played. With every generation, there comes changes, major changes to the game. The game is totally different than it was when we were kids. You know, hell, when we were kids, it wasn't even no overtime. It wasn't an overtime. It wasn't a playoff at all. Now you got playoffs, you got overtime, you got everything. Uh, you gotta play ball. You gotta change with the times. Either that or hello, welcome to the world of 9-3 or 8-4. Because the teams that's gonna survive in this era, in this world of college football, the ones that's gonna break bread and pay. That's just how it is. That's just that's just how it is. 225 girl said, "Hell, I wish they could throw money at us buying the fibers the way they do these athletes." But yeah, buying natties and stuff. I say the same thing to 225 girl. I wish they could throw money at us regular Joes like that. That's not just with football players. Hell, I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like these attorneys and medical people are overpaid. You know, I feel like they're overpaid. You know, they're you know, and you got some people that are uh, working career jobs and getting underpaid, like school teachers and cops. They're getting underpaid.
Terrain Black. Hey, we discussed that too. Uh, about the not getting the NI deal to your sophomore year. We discussed that too a couple of segments ago. But I agree with you on that one. Um,
CP3, the reason why I don't want to say that out loud, bro, because that's allegedly. But I'll put your comment up there. There's no concrete, no evidence or anything of that. It's been speculations for the last 15 years, but no one was ever caught. Nothing, no receipts were ever presented. They were never punished for anything, any underhanded backroom deals. I know what you're referring to with that high school football coach from Hoover, when he gave that interview and he was basically dropping a dime on the University of Alabama football program, but there was never any solid proof that that happened. Salute to you, Chappelle Hannon. Salute to you. But
yeah. Hey, look, it is what it is. Some changes, like you said. I believe, in my opinion, I believe that you really it goes to yeah. There's some great players out there that's coming out of high school, and but I don't think it's so called the money. I think it's so called the coaching.
okay,
Um,
okay.
no, I mean, you think you come out of high school. High school between high school and college is a totally two different beasts. So you have to be coached somehow, some way.
I can
I
I
don't think
can
you give them the money and be like, "Hey, here's your money," and you just go out there and play. And you just there's some people with natural talent. We
I
have some
can give
players that have natural talent.
I can give you three players that would have made a hell of a difference this season. Had Georgia would have just broke bread and gave him a little more money. Number one, Jackson Meeks. Jackson Meeks set all kinds of records up there at Syracuse. Pop, Dumas Johnson. Dumas Johnson, one thing about Dumas Johnson, he wasn't missing tackles like old boy CJ Allen miss, running, quarterbacks running all over the place. That wasn't going on with Dumas Johnson. Mm-mm. It wasn't going on with Dumas Johnson. Andrew Paul. Tell me we couldn't use Andrew Paul this season. I think now that would have been a dangerous backfield. Frazier, ETN, Andrew Paul. That would have been a hellified backfield. Um, the Robinson guys, that right there was a huge disappointment. I was very optimistic about the Robinson brothers. I don't know if they're related, but I'll just say the Robinson brothers. I was
No,
very
one's from Mississippi, one's from I forgot what the other was from. Both of them not from Mississippi.
Yeah, I was very optimistic about them, but they're number one, they're too injury prone. They're injury prone, and it's not a knock on them. It's not their fault. Football is not for everybody. Football is not for everybody. So luckily they have their education to fall back on, but they may want to think about trying other avenues besides football. Um, ETN is good. Don't get me wrong. He's good. He's not elite. He's not elite. And the reason why, then I want to revisit and rebut, push back when you said that this was not the worst running back room. Can you name a year where this 2024 running back room is better? I mean, you got from 2016 to 2024. Pick out a
No,
year.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. No.
I'm just
Uh,
saying you made the statement.
no,
You
no,
you
stop,
said
stop,
you you
stop,
you
stop.
said that this was not the
I
worst
didn't think
running
that
back room.
this year.
I'm big on receipts. I'm big on
No,
receipts,
you're
bro.
big on
I'm just saying.
going back into the future,
No,
brother. I
what
mean, back into the
but when you make a
past.
statement, when you make a statement like that, bro, you got to back it up with facts. You can just can't
Okay,
say it off the top of your head.
but
Oh,
what did we
this ain't the
have, bro?
worst. This ain't the worst running back room. Well, if this is not the worst running back room, give me a year under Kirby that was the worst running back room. It damn sure wasn't 2016, because that was Chubb and Sony. 17, Chubb,
Armondo.
Sony, Swift. 18,
Okay,
Swift, Holyfield,
and what did they
Heron.
have? What did they
19,
have that?
huh?
What did they have? What did every other running back crew have that we didn't have this year?
That 2016 O line, if you want to go there, that 2016 O line was nowhere near was worse than this line.
That line was our
Yes,
biggest
sir. They
line in
gave up more.
26.
They gave up more sacks. Go look at it. In 2016, that O line gave up more sacks than this 2024 O line.
Okay.
See,
I just
I'm not
no,
looking
no.
at,
I'm
I'm not
not saying they're the worst team. I'm not going to agree with you that they're the worst running back
okay.
crew.
Let me finish. Well, let me finish breaking down why I disagree with you. Okay. Now we're gonna set the lines aside, but I knew you were gonna come with the O line, and I don't know if you did in the research or whatever. But that 2016 O line was actually worse than the 2024 O line because it gave up more sacks and
Right.
more
But they
negative
also
and more. Let me finish, brother. I let you go for 15, but let me finish. All right, so I'm talking about pound for pound running backs. Damn the line. I'm talking about pound for pound running backs, yards, skill wise. Yards, skill wise. This was the worst running back room under Kirby Smart. Last year, Dejon Edwards, Kendall Milton, hell of a lot better. Year before that, Kenny McIntosh, Dejon Edwards, hell of a lot better. He had a couple of players that transferred also. The year before that, James Cook, Kenny McIntosh, Zeus. The year before that, Zeus, McIntosh. Do I need to go any further?
no.
Yeah,
I disagree to disagree with you, boss.
okay. I'm just saying
Because
because
you
you
have to
only
have.
had you only had 100-yard game, and that was against in the SEC championship game. No other, even against the Cupcakes, the running backs didn't even put up 100 yards on the ground. They were getting like 60, 70. Nate Frazier had like 90 against Clemson.
So what does the running back crew need or need in front of them to open up holes and let them get out in the open? They need an offensive line, correct? They need. I mean, you they can't they can only they run where they're supposed to run in the gap they're supposed to run,
Mm-hmm.
and it's the offensive line to open up that hole to make them so they can get up the field, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so if we don't have an offensive line that can open that can bust off the line to give those boys some room to run, I wouldn't say they're the worst running back crew because they didn't hit 100 yards rushing. But if you can't run and you can't throw and you can't and your receiver's not catching the ball and your quarterback's throwing interceptions, I mean, what more can you do? I agree. This is probably the worst as a whole, but there's certain areas I don't agree. I don't agree that they were the worst. Um, the as individual assignments, I don't think that the running backs was the worst. Uh, Not the worst, meaning I wouldn't put them in the worst category. That's what I wouldn't do. I went. They wasn't. They wasn't the best, but they wasn't the worst crew. Now, if you're going pound for pound, that year with that when Edwards was a senior, which is last year,
Mm-hmm.
no, the year or when he was a junior last year, they couldn't run the ball that much neither.
They were a hell of a lot better than this year. A hell of a
Okay,
lot
I got.
better.
If you compare them by years, I
Yeah,
agree to disagree.
I'm just saying, bro. The receipts are there. I give you time to look up the yardage. The average of yards per carry. Both of them, Milton and Edwards. Yards per carry
But
was
they needed that offensive line. Hey, CP3, who gives a damn about Jermaine Smith? Man, hey, grow up. Damn. You keep saying the same shit over and over again.
they
Calm
bro,
down.
calm down, bro. They
Yeah,
he
calm down.
Ohio State fan. He happy if they were
Hey,
if
be
our if
excited. You got two good wins under your belt. Y'all was for a minute there. We haven't seen you all season, CP3, until now. So chill out.
they doing it when it counts. That's what
I'm just saying.
that's all that matters. Do it when it counts. They doing it when it counts. They showed up when it counts, and they're in the semifinals. We'll be on the couch.
We're not. We're on the couch. We're gonna be on the couch watching. It's all good though.
But like I was saying, this line I wouldn't pour dirt on this line that much because those interceptions those interceptions were like a combination of a lot of things. Yes, there was some pressure that caused some of them, a few of them, but it was also inaccuracy and ball ricocheting off of the receiver's hands. How many times have we seen that?
No,
So
oh no. I totally agree with you on that.
yeah,
I didn't say no. When I say the offensive line not being their passing was their pass protection was a lot better than their rushing, coming off the ball hard and letting our running backs get into that secondary. That but you compare it to that, I understand what you're saying. But the offensive line was not at that the run scheme. They were not good for that. They were not, especially up in the gaps. Up in the gaps, you could not. You There's no way in hell you could say that the offensive line. If you took that offensive line and go back 2 years and gave them that same offensive line, do you think our running backs would have did those running backs would have did better?
well, what happened. We lost Matt Luke. Matt Luke was the best O line coach in my
Oh
opinion in my
yeah, yeah,
lifetime.
yeah, 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 yeah. Totally agree.
Matt Luke is he had that O line. They was both sides of the ball. The D line was run stopping. They was getting penetration. They was getting push, and the O line was they were pancaking folks left and right, giving you great running lanes. Remember the Ohio State game? We had great running lanes, but
CP3. See, you want to come up here and start trash, bro? Let me tell you something. This is not emotions. This is me talking, right? You over here, only thing you keep saying, you got Jermaine Smith so deep in your throat right now. It's ridiculous. All right, you said it once or twice. Let it go. We done moved on from there, but you still all sitting in Jermaine Smith's lap. Now, if you want to go on another channel and we can talk about it, we can. But right now, this ain't the time, Bubba. You got the wrong one today.
okay, all right. But anyway, man, it's a lot of things that need to be corrected. I think Bobo, uh, you can keep him on the staff, but I wouldn't make him the main play caller.
Mm-mm.
There's
Mm-mm.
nothing, there's nothing, nothing, no evidence, no nothing of this guy being A good play caller. He can win you 9 or 10 games. His play calling can win you 9 or 10 games, but you're not going to win a national champion. He's not a national championship play caller like Monken and like the Chip Kelly. And I said it at the beginning of the season, man. Chip
Mm-hmm.
Kelly is a guru play
You did.
caller, and yeah, Kirby is gonna. You got to get out of the friendship thing. Got to get
Yep.
out. You don't mix business with pleasure. May God rest his soul. My dad told me that years ago. You never mix business with pleasure. Friends, bring your friends on the coaching staff. Coley, bringing Coley back and bringing Mike Bobo back. The fans are gonna have something to say about that. The fans are gonna chirp. Um, it's just that hits. Kirby needs to revamp his staff because the thing about it is you can go out and recruit players. You can
Mm-hmm.
recruit some of the best 5-star players. You're not going to keep them long if you don't know how to use them. You're not going to keep them. Like we weren't able to keep Andrew Paul. I think Andrew Paul would have made a huge difference in that backfield for us. Can you imagine Frazier and Andrew Paul back there in the backfield together? Honestly, um, and here's another point I want to make. We went into the transfer portal last year for what? For what? Okay, we got a
And
guy that already had DV issues from back in Miami. I mean, it wasn't a charge, but it was like a report or something. Him
mm-hmm.
and the girl he deals with is a hostile girl. Okay, then you get Michael Jackson from out there in USC, and I don't give a damn what nobody says. I've seen that kid play. He was clutch out there at USC, but he did not get on the field not one time. You go get London Humphreys, which was one of Vandy's best receivers. Rarely use him every now and then. And then the times you did use him, he produced. He caught the ball. He was consistent, and he scored touchdowns. But he didn't get not one pass. And then on the night where Arian Smith was actually catching the ball, you decide to go to Dylan Bell.
Yeah.
Explain
Yeah.
that to me.
And
No, on
that's
the
what I said
night
earlier.
where Arian Smith is on fire catching the ball, you don't call plays his way. You trying to turn Dylan Bell into AJ Green tonight.
And that's what I mentioned earlier. He was Dylan Bell has not been the same since was not the same Dylan Bell we known of last year. Uh, you 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 got two good tight ends and you barely throw it to him. Again, like you said, London Humphreys came on the scene first couple of games. He was on fire. Then he got mono, and he comes back and he start producing again.
Mm-hmm.
London Humphreys was your replacement for McConkey. London Humphreys was your replacement, and you did not use him. And I don't. And that is the knock on Bobo. He's just too conservative.
And
He's
predictable.
too
And predictable.
and very predictable. Like we talked about on the phone. Um, on the phone, you get a first down, you get a passing first down, you go right back to running running or you get a passing 6-7 yards, and you go to a run play, and that's and consistent with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the one thing besides like breaking the bag, I think is we need a fresh offensive coordinator.
I don't want to just get a fresh one. I want to do what we did in 2020 when we went and got Monken. I want to go. Look what teams that scoring that offensive coordinator with Philly. or somebody on that staff, somebody off of the Kansas City Chiefs staff. We need someone. Man, I'll take Buster Faulkner right now. I'll take Buster Faulkner. I promise you, Buster Faulkner as a play caller would make a hell of a big difference.
Yeah.
Because the play calling was very, very vanilla tonight. Very vanilla. Now I like the strategy of being a little aggressive, but there were times where they should have been aggressive. They went too conservative, like on short yardage plays. Like if you have a 2nd and 3, why are you running the ball? Because if I'm a defensive coordinator, I know you're finna line up and run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna come out and hit you with something that you're not ready for. A wheel route, uh, I'm gonna a bootleg, something. Dylan Bell can throw. He can
Yeah.
he can throw the
Yeah.
ball.
We saw it last year.
Yeah, this was an elimination game. You pull out all the stops. Did you know that punter was a dual threat quarterback? Drew Miller was a dual threat quarterback in high school and a damn good one. Did you know that?
No, I
When
did not. I was thinking about it now.
man, I look when we had like those 4th and 2, I would have tried them instead of trying to line up and go for it on 4th and 2. I would have tried a fake punt because the kid is fast. Drew Miller is fast. He could have picked up those 2 yards. See, Kirby got out coached tonight. He took Marcus
Wait,
Freeman.
hold on. The only thing that I did push back on.
Mm,
I don't think that he could have ran too much because Notre Dame was attacking attacking that our special teams like nobody business. Remember, they got close a couple times, but we had 2 penalties back to back. That's how close they were.
well, I mean, that
You
was in
don't
the
say
first.
it. I mean,
No, that was in the first. I'm talking about in the fourth quarter when they weren't really bringing no pressure on the. In the second half, they weren't bringing no pressure on the punter because they had a lead. I'm saying on that series when we were 4th and 2 and they got we had a false start and they bagged us up and then Kirby decided to punt and then we were finna punt and they did some kind of a delay of game and we
yeah,
got the
yeah,
5 yards back. Instead of lining up going for it, I would have continued on and did the punt and then I'd have called a fake punt
yeah,
because that kid,
yeah.
you can put an extra lineman back there, but that kid, what I'm saying is that kid has wheels and he can throw, so you could did it either way. He could have got the ball, did his little rugby run, and then tossed it down the
Toss
field.
it over. Yeah.
Yeah, to Delp or somebody, or Cash Jones, or he could have ran it because he's pretty fast. The kid is fast.
I've never seen no highlights on him.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie to you.
yeah, yeah. He's fast. So um, Notre Dame, what boils down to Notre Dame wanted it more. The players played harder. Notre Dame, they left it all out on the field, and the coaching staff wanted it more. Al Golden, and that's a prime example of you got guys that are just damn good coordinators, but
Yeah.
they need to be coordinators and not head coaches. Al Golden was terrible as a head coach, but he's a damn good defensive coordinator. Damn good defensive coordinator. Um, Marcus Freeman, that where he he faked like he was finna punt, and he had the guys to run off the field and ran the offense back out there. That was genius.
Yeah,
He
he's been doing that all year.
yeah.
He makes sure they have enough time to do it.
And
Uh,
Kirby should have been ready for it.
yeah,
Kirby wasn't. So if you know And you not even on the coaching staff, and you knew you seen them do that before. Um, we got out coach. We just wasn't
We
ready.
got our coach.
Yeah, and this team is not national championship. This wasn't a national championship team. I was really just happy. Be honest with you, know what I'm saying out loud. I was just happy they made it to the playoffs, and I was hoping that we would win despite of, and it ain't really necessarily got nothing to do with Gunner. It's the team as a whole. The team as a whole,
Yeah.
in my opinion, and I'm not bashing the team because I love what they did and I'm very, very proud of them. But this 2024 team was the worst under Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
Mm.
They for what they had and what through injuries throughout the year, and we was going to see Brinson Robertson, but he had another turf toe in practice this week.
Mm-hmm.
Then had to delay a game or delay a whole day.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, hey, listen, you can't. There's not too many finger pointing that you can do. We can't. There's not too much finger pointing that we could do at anybody in the individual. They all played hard for what they had. I mean, if it wasn't for that 25 seconds of the game when they scored down near 17 points, it would it was it would have been a lot closer. Um, and I don't want to hear people say if we had Carlson back, it would have been a different game. Um, it would have been a different game. No, 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 no. I mean, he is a general, but hey, Gunner started did what he had to do. Um, Defense did a lot better tackling. It's just that, like I said, they went out. There was just some place that got away from them. Um, and I agree with Terry in the chat. I think that yeah, he's going. Gunner's going to be all right next year. Now, do you think he got competition as for the starting position next year?
Um, Piglisi is going to battle him for the position. I think Rashada is going to jump back in the portal. But my main concern is receivers. We need receivers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to depend so much on those freshman receivers because anything can happen. I mean, injuries, anything can happen. But look, if all those freshmen pan out that we have in, then those are some going to be some elite receivers. But Kirby and the boosters, they need to do whatever they got to do to keep those young men happy and to keep them here in Athens.
Yeah.
And if you have to start all of them, start all of them. But first thing first, he needs to clean house. Dylan Bell may want to hang around. Tell him to jump in the portal. Arian Smith
Yeah.
may want to hang around. Bye. Go in the portal. um, love it. Hey, sir. It just didn't work out. You might want to go on in the portal because there's no way that I would have C.J. Wiley, Elias Williams, and a couple of those Taylor that all of three of them start. All three of them are start.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
sorry, they are starting day one.
The one I would probably keep, and I know is London Humphreys because I know he's consistent. Um, and we just got and we basically a lot
Delp and
besides
Lucky,
receivers, huh?
Delp and Lucky. I'm
Delton
definitely
Lucky,
keeping those two.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Definitely those two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because throughout the season they just got better, better, and they just got better throughout the whole season. This is not mine, is it?
We both gonna do this. We both gonna do this. So I've updated it.
Mm-hmm.
I've updated it. So um, you got the semifinals. So you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna pick Penn State over Notre Dame. And the Ohio State. and Texas game, it's going to be difficult. It all depends on what defense show up for Texas. If their number one defense show up for Texas, it's going to be a no brainer. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be with Toronto Black on this one, and I'm picking Texas. I just hope they. I just hope that that defense show up.
You picking Texas?
Yes, sir. I'm still, and it's not because of anything else. I think that I'm just not a believer. Hello,
You
it's
picking
upset
upset?
alert. Well, will it still be? Would it be an upset if Texas is 5?
Well, Vegas. Vegas got Ohio State right now at 8-5. I mean, I'm sorry, 8.5, and it keeps going up because this morning it was at 6.5. Now it's at okay, so it's back down to 6.5.
Okay.
Okay,
So 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 I guess I don't know what I'm talking about with CP3. Please explain to them about Texas defense real quick while I step out for a second.
this is the thing with Texas. Okay, let me uh let me break this down. This is the thing about it. Okay, uh, this Texas defense will be the best defense that Ohio State has seen all season, and I'm including Michigan, Penn State, Oregon, Tennessee. Tennessee had a good defense, but nowhere near on the level as Texas. This will be the best secondary that Ohio State has seen all season. But I guess that's why I think that's why it's back down to 6.5 because a lot of people believe that if it's any secondary that can slow down, and if it's anybody, any player in the country that can cover Jeremiah Smith 1-on-1, it would be Barron, the Thorpe Award winner, and Texas has a hellified secondary. They have Lambert, Barron, Macumba. they got a secondary, and they remember the linebacker. They have a Butkus Award finalist, Anthony Hill, which yeah, Taft. Yeah, they got a secondary. Texas got a defense. They got a defense, but and I'm gonna save it when I do my pick. I'm gonna explain why I do my pick. So waiting on him to come back. So he has Texas and Penn State in the championship game. Arizona State dropped 31 on them. But the thing about it is, man, Ohio State ain't got no scatterboo. You know what I'm saying? Ohio State ain't got no scatterboo, bro. They ain't got no scatterboo. Scatterboo is like I was saying earlier, bro. You got players that's a once in a lifetime generational player. But I hear what you're saying there, Alpha. You're exactly right. Arizona dropped 31 on them. Arizona State dropped 31. And I think that's a situation of Sark taking the foot off the gas. And here's another thing, too. Here's another thing what I think Sniper is basing his pick off of the Arch Manning factor. Y'all don't have no film on Arch Manning. Don't be surprised if Sark pulls a Nick Saban move in the championship game. Say if Texas goes down by a touchdown or a touchdown in the field goal, I could see him yanking Ewers and putting Arch Manning in there. And the one thing we all know, a mobile quarterback, a dual threat quarterback that can run and throw, has always given Ohio State problems. So if any team will go toe to toe, it's Texas. But if OSU scores quickly and aggressively, Texas could be in for. Now Texas has weapons that they can go toe to toe with them on. Bond, Matthew Golden, uh, they are a combination. and Moore, and then Helms, the tight end Helms. Texas has some weapons. They have some weapons. Hey, bro, you froze up, man. You froze up. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and give my pick here. I'm gonna go ahead and give my pick. Let's see. Let's reset it. All right, bro, you good? Can you hear me?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Had froze up there for a quick second. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and give my pick till you get right. All right. Salute to you, Kenyon 29. All right, and the Orange Bowl. That's gonna be that game is gonna be next Thursday. I'm taking Penn State. I think is great as Notre Dame played tonight. I think Penn State is and I really think Penn State honestly would have beat either Georgia or Notre Dame, in my opinion. I think the end of the road, even if we would have beat Notre Dame tonight, I think the end of the road would have ended in Miami next Thursday. So Penn State, that is yeah, Penn State has a defense. They can shut that run down, and Penn State has a very experienced quarterback. They're not going to be Notre Dame is not going to be playing against a backup, and Penn State's O line is a hell of a lot better than Georgia. So, and they're big, they're huge. They thought that Georgia O line was huge. That Penn State O line is huge, and Penn State has some damn good pass rushers. So, I'm going with Penn State in that one. In the Cotton Bowl, I think it will be closer than the experts think, but I just think Ohio State has too much firepower on both sides of the ball. I think Ohio State has too much firepower on offense and defense. So it's going to set up for an all Big Ten championship game, in my opinion, in Atlanta. Abdul Carter got hurt. He's not a lot of play Penn State. He's their best player. I still think Penn State can beat them, bro. Penn State is deep enough. They got some guys on the bench. I still think Penn State can get them. I still think Penn State can get them. Um, Ohio State, Penn State. Like I said, when it come down to big games, because see, and this is the thing, everybody's gonna expect Penn State to beat Notre Dame. Everybody's gonna expect Penn State to beat Notre Dame. So what everybody's gonna measure James Franklin. In order for James Franklin to get to the next level, he gotta beat these guys right here. And I'm just being totally honest. I don't think he can do it. So that's my pick. My updated bracket. That is my pick. The winner of the first annual inaugural 12-team playoff. In my opinion, my pick is Ohio State. It is Ohio State. So that is my pick. So I'm gonna let Sniper get back in here and let him finish his. Hold up. Let me reset the bracket, bro. You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and do this real fast before you drop off again.
Now, I don't know what happened.
All right. So once again, you picking Penn State, you pick Texas. So you're saying in Atlanta in the championship game, you're saying Texas is going back to Atlanta for the third time.
For the third time.
Uh huh. And
Oof.
it's going to be the fifth seed Texas versus the sixth seed Penn State. Who you got? Alpha City
I'm
already booked this
all
room
ball.
in Atlanta. No respect, Teron. No
No
respect.
respect.
Any
No
Texas
respect.
fan that's listening, Alpha, I'm man. I got to pen this. This is just utter disrespect. It's just, it's just, it's just utter disrespect right here, man. Hold on.
What did Alpha say?
Hold on. I'm gonna pen it. Hold on. Teron, you see that now? You see it? This dude already said he gonna book his room to Atlanta. you you hear him, Teron? No respect for the Longhorns. All right, bro. Okay, Snipe. Who you
Hey,
got
if
in
I
this
have
one?
to, I mean, this is an oddball picking right here, but I do believe Texas have what it takes at the end of the day on the defensive side to slow down Ohio State. So I'm going to pick Texas to win it all. Something about something. The reason why they're there for a reason, I don't know what it is, but I think that I pick Texas to win it all.
All right. There you have it. Sniper has the Longhorns winning the national title. And I got the Buckeyes. I got the Buckeyes winning it. Um, I guess when we go live on the pregame show on Thursday, um, we'll let D Truth do his bracket. D Truth and you knew let them do their bracket. But you have
Mm-hmm.
Texas. You have Texas defeating Penn State in Atlanta, and I have I have Ohio State defeating Penn State. I have an all Big Ten matchup for the first time since the college football playoffs has existed. There will be a Big Ten national
Yep.
championship game.
Your boy CP3 is tight, boy. I tell you, that boy CP3 is tight. He is tight. Hey, I mean, hey. The thing is, bro, that's my opinion, bro. I mean, you can't get mad at me because that's what I think. Y'all, I mean, y'all haven't played Ohio State to me, and I've been saying this all year long, haven't I, Armondo? They haven't they haven't really played a consistent game
Well,
until here recently. And like you said, yeah, they might they peaked at the right time. They peaked at the right time.
yeah, it's just like just like the NFL. The team
Yeah,
that is hot going into the playoffs or just catches fire and gets hot, that's the team that you normally wins it. So expect a lot of this, people.
yeah,
The lower seeds, and I'm not saying every year because next year you could have a situation where Ohio State is 9 times out of 10 will win the Big Ten. They're definitely going to do the seedings differently. I think the best. It ain't gonna be conference champions getting the automatic buys. The best four teams are gonna get the buys, and I think that's the way it should be.
yeah.
The four best teams at the top get the buys. So it'll be a
But
minute.
they have to determine what it means to be the four best teams. They have to they can't use one win
Well, if you got a situation where, let's just say next year Ohio State and Oregon, I don't know if they play each other. Okay, so let's say if they play each other, and they'll be playing in Columbus this time around, and Ohio State beats them by a field goal in overtime or something like that,
Yeah.
and they go to the Big Ten championship game, and Oregon wins the rematch in overtime. I feel like both of them should get a bye. Both of them should get a top seed because they'll be both of them will be 12-1. So
Mhm.
I think it's only fair. I think there are some years I can definitely tell you in 2017 and 2021, Georgia and Alabama should have been 1 and 2. They should have been the 1 and 2 seeds and not the 1 and 4 seeds.
True.
So it's gonna be interesting. These seedings. The only flaw I see in the playoff system is the seedings. That's it. I like the auto bids. I'm in favor of that, especially the way Boise State performed on New Year's Eve and the way Arizona State they showed some heart yesterday. They showed some heart and they proved to the world that they definitely belonged in the playoffs yesterday because they came that close to beating the Longhorns, and the Longhorns are a tough team. They are a very
Yeah.
tough. So
Can
other
we?
than that, huh? Go ahead.
I'm just looking at this dude right now. I think he high as hell on the computer. Uh,
I don't be paying attention to the chat like. 'Cause well, the
yeah.
thing about the chat, people troll. I don't
He
pay.
not even a troll, bro. He trying to be.
Yeah, I
I
don't even
mean,
pay
hey,
it.
CP3. When's the last time your Ohio State won something? Shut it up. All right. Yes, I'm old, but I'm old enough to know that y'all haven't won nothing in a while.
Yeah, it been 10 years, but they're gonna. In my opinion, I think they about to get one, bro.
Yeah. Hey,
I think I mean, bro, look, they the last two games they've earned all my respect. And any Ohio State fan, hey, if my team performed like that in the playoffs, I'd be talking shit too. I ain't gonna tell you a lie. I would be talking. I would be the chance talking shit too.
oh yeah, yeah.
So
Hey,
they
listen.
they earned they team performed on the field and they team you know, hey, their team, they talk shit in the chat, and their team is backing it up out on the football field. So hey, we had that same, I know I did. I had that same attitude in 2021, and especially in 2022.
Hey, look, I was right there. I was right there with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I was tearing them Florida fans up, going over there trolling them every day. And I was just finding the Florida podcast and live streams. I was just trolling them just for the fun of them. When I ain't have nothing to do, I would just go over there and troll just to piss them off. But on that note, man, it's been a hell of a season for the Georgia Bulldogs. I'll do a couple of more dog calls until the season is completely over with. The Georgia basketball team is doing some pretty good things. I'll do a couple of dog calls on the Georgia basketball team, but this has been a hell of a season, a hell of a run, and I'm proud of this team. I'm proud of them. I'm not blaming. I'm not putting the blame on no one player,
Right.
especially a kid that only played 30 minutes of football. 30 minutes of football the entire season. I'm not going to pour dirt on that kid. He did what he could tonight, and he showed up. And in my opinion, he showed out. The unfortunate thing is he couldn't damn play quarterback and block for his damn self. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
know, he couldn't
Yeah.
play defense. He couldn't play safety. He couldn't play linebacker and tackle the damn running back and wrap up and tackle the damn running backs, the Notre Dame running backs and the Notre Dame quarterback. So, uh,
He did all he could.
Yeah, he did all they could, and with the level of talent that we had on this team, uh, hey, it's a blessing they got this far. You know,
Yeah.
you know, am I, feeling a little bad and a little yes, yes, I am. But this don't hurt nowhere near as the SEC championship loss did last year. This don't hurt nowhere near as the loss that we had in uh in 2017. That second and 26. That hurt. That hurt right there. That hurt. That hurt.
Facts.
That hurt right there. It took me a long time to get over that one. That hurt. So this one right here didn't really hurt because I didn't have a good feeling about this game. I would never say it out loud before because the thing about it, I come on here to boost the morale up for my fellow Georgia Bulldog fans. I don't want to come on here and be a Debbie Downer. You have some dog caster just comes on here and they just I can't tell if they really a Dogs fan or not. They're just Debbie Downers. You know, I'm not that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna tear down anybody's morale as a fan. You know, so I'm gonna always uplift my team. But as for personally, as a personal thought, the way I was feeling, and I will be honest and share this with you all, I didn't have a good feeling. Uh, I didn't have a good feeling yesterday, and I definitely didn't have a good feeling this morning. And when the Vegas line switch over to Notre Dame being favored by 1.5 points, it was just so many signs that just pointed to us, not winning this game. And
Yeah.
Notre Dame wanted it more. They wanted it more. They just you could see at the coin toss, just like in the 2021 championship game in Indy at the coin toss, when the Kobe Dean, when he was eyeballing Bryce Young and Bryce Young held his head down.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I knew right then and there. I knew. I said, we got this. We got this. When we lined up against TCU, and them TCU players' eyes were all big when they saw Jalen Carter and, and I said, man, we got this. We got this. But tonight at that coin toss, they, they they didn't have that look. They didn't have that eye of the tiger. Malachi Starks, he didn't have that eye. I mean, I looked at our captains compared to Notre Dame captains. They had that eye of the tiger. They were ready tonight. They were ready to go to war. Our players weren't. That's what it all boils down to. But at the end of the day, it's always dogs, and I feel like they deserved to be in there. I felt like they were one. Can't nobody tell me that our Georgia Bulldogs was not one of the best 12 teams in the nation. So if anybody asks me, did they deserve to be in the playoffs? Hell yes, they deserve to be in the playoffs. And anybody that says any different, say they don't deserve to be in the play, they don't know a damn thing about football. They just talking, running their mouth, and talking off emotions. But
Yeah, I totally agree.
everybody can't win it. Only one team can win it, and this was not our year. And I've been saying it all year. This team has a lot of flaws. I've been saying it all year.
And
Go ahead, bro.
but hey, listen. My final thoughts is this right here.
Mm-hmm.
we got we have a little something that we can build off
Mm-hmm.
on. At the end of the day, like you said, only one team can win. But I'm proud of our Georgia Bulldogs. I'm gonna be screaming those two words until the day I die. Go Dogs.
All right. Those are your final thoughts.
That's my final thought. That's as much. That's the only thing I can say. Hey, our season's done. It's time to hit that drawing board, get some rest, hit that drawing board, and come back. See y'all in April for spring game, which I will be there.
Yep. Well, and on that note, the season is over with. And in Athens, it's gonna be a little bit of a little bit of slow walking, a little bit of slow walking, sad singing.
Mm.
And I will say this to all my fellow Georgia Bulldogs fans: let not your heart be troubled. There's always next year. Well, it's officially 2025 this year. We have, for the first time in a while, elite 5-star receivers coming in. We have a quarterback. Gonna even in defeat, one thing we learned: we have a quarterback that can sling it and can run it. We just need to put a line around him, get a damn good left tackle. Uh, we got a loaded running back room coming back. I think they'll be better. Nate Frazier, like I said, before he leaves Georgia, he will be a Heisman finalist.
Mm-hmm.
Before he ends his football career at Georgia, he will be a Heisman finalist. I'm not saying he'll win the Heisman, but he'll be a Heisman finalist. But I see great things for this Georgia team. I see great things for this Georgia team, and you know, hey, like I said, hey, I'm proud of them. And yes, they do need Terry, not too hard, because you don't want to you don't want your players that you're recruiting, you don't want them hitting the transfer portal. You don't want them decommitting. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that to happen. So let's get these 5-star elite receivers in and let's use them, Kirby. Let's use them. Don't let them sit on the bench collecting dust. Let's use them. Other than that, everyone, peace and blessings. I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you all for coming out. I did a little pregame show, little 20-30 minute pregame show, and this one right here, the postgame show. It didn't work out the way we wanted it, but still a great season. Proud. We went through a lot of adversities this year, but we knew this team had flaws. If you've been paying attention, you're honest with yourselves, you know this team had flaws. They had flaws, but they fought hard. They won the SEC championship game, and they were a playoff team. So, hey, better luck next year. There were a lot of other teams that wish they could have traded spots with us, like I said earlier. But it is what it is. But everyone, be safe. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday night, and until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. And like I always say, no matter what, for life, win, lose, or draw, it's always going to be go dog.
Dogs,
Sickle.
sticker.
Woo, woo,
Hoo,
woo,
hoo, hoo.
woo, woo, woo. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your Thursday night.